Hey, it's time for another episode of #Event Icons, presented by Endless Events, the show where you get to ask the icons of the events industry anything. Just follow us on social media to ask questions. Our iconic guests will answer them live during the entire show. Before we get started, the more people we have watching, the better the conversation. So please help share #Event Icons on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Just tell your friends to watch live on any of our social media channels. Now, without any further delay, this is #Event Icons.
Hi, everyone. We have an awesome episode today of Event Icons. We'll give everyone a couple seconds to join, just because I feel like you're not going to want to miss any part of this one. We've got some awesome guys here. You probably will see some familiar faces. If you're in events, you probably already know who they are. But I'm so excited to start this episode. For all of you that want to watch more Event Icons episodes, we'd love to have you join the family. So you can go visit www.event-icons.com so you can get subscribed. Also subscribe to the newsletter so you can see all of our podcast episodes, all of our blog posts, and even more Event Icons. So without any further ado, I would love to invite our three guests. We have Sam, Andy, and John from Song Division. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm so excited. Like I said, you guys are kind of well known in the event space, so people probably know who you are. But if you want to give like a quick, just little recap of what Song Division is, who you guys are, and kind of how you got into the events realm, I think people would love to hear that.
Well, Sarah, we're kind of a big deal around.
I thought we were iconic.
You're pretty famous, I have to say.
So John and I have spoken. So Sam, that's yours. You can handle that.
Founded in 2003, Song Division is the global leaders in interactive. Hey, yeah, we know you guys. We're friends of the show. We love it. If you don't know who we are, then where have you been? No, we're a music engagement, entertainment, interactive communication agency that have worked in 38 countries or so, and in the last 6 months have somehow managed to flip everything. And I think we're at about 450 events that we've delivered in 6 months, and something like 50,000 people that have got to enjoy it. So it's all happening.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And yeah, for some of you who are longtime fans of the show, you've probably recognized our, when we did our in-person Event Icons cast or recording at IMEX. We had Song Division come on, do an awesome song for Event Icons. We had them do one for IMEX. Sometimes, I'm not even kidding you guys, I have the I'm Exhausted song that you guys did stuck in my head. I don't know why it lives there, but it definitely has like such a long-standing effect. So what you guys do is really awesome and so powerful. But like you said, Sam, obviously things have changed, and you guys have been doing a bunch of virtual things. So to any of you, I'm kind of curious what that first pivoting kind of looked like when the pandemic hit. What did you guys kind of do? What did those conversations look like amongst your team of how you're gonna, turn things around and survive during all of this?
I think for the first week it was sheer panic when everything was. Now I've lost everyone. It's me.
Yeah, it's just you, baby.
It's March, early March, when it looked like everything was going to shut down. We had 100% cancellation of 2020. So I think for the first week, it was kind of just having conversations of, are these events going on? Are they not going on? What access to funds do we have? To make sure that the first stop was, is the business going to survive? That was obviously as running the business, that my priority is making sure that the guys and girls are okay and that the business will survive. On March 20th, Sam actually ran, and he drove it. We did a free happy hour for the UK and Europe community. Sam obviously runs Song Division UK and Europe, and live we have what's called a rock and roll game show. It's one of our live programs that we've had for years, and we basically, the idea was to do that in a virtual setting on Zoom for free for our community, just as everyone needs a bit of a break, and also to test the waters That was March 20th. I think, we rehearsed pretty hard leading up to it. Like the first kind of rehearsals that we did. So, I was very involved with that. I would have given those rehearsals 20 out of 100, like that. And then the second rehearsal, it got up to 60. And then the delivery, it was, I think the first point was that we didn't wait till it was perfect, but we worked very hard to get it presentable. And the first session that was run by the UK team, led by Sam, the energy that we get from live events was there. So that was a huge relief. It was a huge relief. It was because the virtual stuff has always been, we've always been involved in hybrid events, and it's always been the poor cousin. And it's always been, okay, the live portion is the main event, and we're going to do something sort of virtual just to tick the box. But when that was the only game in town, and those first sessions where it was like, oh wow, we're getting goosebumps. Like people are, you can see the smiles on their faces. They're saying, wow, that was the best hour that I've had for the last week, considering all the craziness that's going on. And very quickly, so John's in the US team. We've got teams in Australia and Asia. So we started by doing basically free virtual happy hours in each of those markets to sort of prove the concept, and to also, bring some respite to the communities that we work in, and people really appreciated it. And then that quickly turned to getting proposals. So I think, there was that week of kind of not panic, but like, shit.
Right.
This is pretty serious. This is the whole industry, to us going, wow, this works live, and then getting proposals and going, okay, there's hope. And then I don't think the guys have slept since then.
Yeah. Wow.
Sam said we did 450 events. I reckon it's going to be closer to, I think John, between Sam and John, they've done about 450 events in the last week. I
don't know.
Wow.
It's crazy. I'd say it's getting closer to 900 events.
Yeah.
So, but
right.
we're often doing, more than 10 events a day.
Wow.
A lot of them simultaneously, and obviously we have teams around the world, so that's different time zones as well. But it's been crazy, and we're very thankful.
Yeah.
We're very thankful that it works online.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the reasons why virtual is better, but I didn't even think about that for you specifically. That probably opens up your capacity, because for live, you weren't able to go to 10 events during a day, and now you can just kind of hop in and out of Zoom rooms and do your thing and just do it all from the comfort of your own home. So that's something I never even really thought of before. But
that's been a huge part of it. And John and Sam and the guys, they travel a lot. So John's based on, in Ventura, California, and he's on planes to Phoenix and Vegas and Seattle and all over the place doing the live events, and Sam's all across Europe. And
right.
we did, I think everyone's loved husbands, wives at home who are like, why do you travel so much? I think now they might be going back in the other direction.
100%.
Time to go.
100%. I had to write it. It's a blessing and a curse, Sarah. It's like a superpower, because now on Monday I did a job for a Californian organization, because the US guys were busy, and it was fine, but it was midnight till 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
I don't have access to the studio 24 hours, so I'm in the second bedroom trying to give a high energy, let's rock and roll, but keep it down. My girlfriend's in the next room. So this is the reality, though. This is where we are. This is the world that we live in.
Yeah, I love that. But it's also great, too, that you guys felt that energy, because I know that's something as musicians you feed off of so much. And so sometimes it doesn't always translate in screens. And we've noticed that a lot, especially with speakers. It doesn't always mean, like, if you were an engaging speaker at a live performance or meeting or conference, doesn't necessarily translate sometimes to the screen. So the fact that you guys felt that from the audience, I think, is amazing. And that not only were people interested in signing up for proposals, but I think people kind of needed it, especially that first meeting right afterwards when you guys, got your community together. I just think that's huge. And a lot of the, recommendations for people that are struggling during the pandemic is listen to some music, listen to your favorite song, kind of take some time to, unwind after these crazy days. Every day has been insane. So I think people need you all now even more than ever. And I know that's such a common phrase, now more than ever, but I really think it's true in this case that people are really, hungry for this kind of entertainment, especially when they're getting together in a virtual setting. So I love that. I think it's a really exciting thing. I do want to ask you guys, what are some of the biggest things that you've learned from all of this? I'm sure it's been such a huge transition from being in person in front of people to the virtual world, but what is the biggest thing that you've learned?
John, you make the most mistakes. You can take this one.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Sarah, it all started back at I've learned that I sing better when I don't have to wear pants.
What a great thing to know.
Can I get John? Can I put John on the spot with this one? And this come back to your performance thing, Sarah. Like, it doesn't necessarily translate. Because one thing that I think we learnt was that the audience, there is an audience, like a venue. So if you're doing an event with 15 people, it feels like you're doing a little coffee venue gig. Or if there's 300 people, it feels like a club gig. And I think our biggest group so far is 15,000. We did with TD Ameritrade, and so that's like an arena gig. But John, what from your as one of the leads, like, how do you describe that energy on Zoom compared to a live performance?
So obviously that presents a challenge both for us as people who want to engage and for our clients who want their people to be engaged and not just tune out. Right. And one of the things that I've learned is that our programs get people to. This is the same in live events. The reason they work is because they ask people to get involved. They're not just spectators at our events. They're asked to get involved. They're asked to be creative. They're asked to contribute. And I think that part. It's like when you read a good book. If you read a really good book, you have to bring your imagination to it as well. Same with a good film or a good song. I've never been a fan of stuff that's just real laid out, simple, blah. It's all laid out for you. It's all one dimensional. So I think that the element of our shows that ask people to get involved and create with us and be with us, that transcends whether you're looking at them on the Zoom call or with them live. That's what I think it is. If I ever feel like we're not getting that oomph, I just ask somebody to participate in some way, unmute your stuff. And once a person who's not, expected to have the stage is up there with us sharing the stage, then everybody sees it in a different light. So that's how we get the engagement, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that. And it takes a little bit of vulnerability to just kind of go up there and be that center of attention. And maybe, your coworkers see you in a different light, or whoever you're meeting with. But it's exciting to, be a part of something bigger. And I think people, especially, are hungry for that right now.
Yes, you have to have either that vulnerability like me, or you have to be a narcissist like Sam. One or the other.
Exactly right.
Pick your poison.
And for people who don't know, I know we gave a quick overview at the start, but for people who aren't exactly sure what it is that we're talking about in terms of the interaction, our core offering is getting groups to write original songs based on the purpose of their company, their association, their event. And so, that interactivity is helping, like, our guys, so Sam and John and our team around the world are helping groups, whether it's 15 people or 15,000 people, create an original song. So we're getting the music from the group, people coming up with the guitar chords, they're picking the style, they're writing the lyrics. And then we have a lot of programs like our happy hour, which is a mixture of, I guess, sort of late night show, Jimmy Fallon with the Roots, where there's different, rock pub trivia, rock and roll trivia, a song still gets created, a bit of sharing information about, what are you loving, what are you hating about the lockdown. So that's just for people who are wondering what are they making us do in these sessions. It's all, that's a little glimpse of it.
Yeah.
What I've found is actually at the live events, not a lot's changed. Like the reaction at the start, often, we're going to create an original song with you all. And at the live events, we love that, but we do spend the first 5 minutes sort of convincing everyone that's going to be okay. And we ease them into it and we have some fun with them. And by the end, they're loving live. I've found with the virtual that's not as big a deal because they know they're not going to have to perform the song as a group or anything like that. So we say we're going to write a song with you. Don't worry, you guys will all be on mute. It'll be fine. And no one really has that. We don't have to convince anyone at all. They're ready to go. I think they're just excited to be watching something, that's not a presentation. So people are in from the get-go, which is nice.
And they probably have a little bit of sense of security, in their own homes. They're in a little box. No one can, come into their personal space. So I think that kind of helps too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like you said, people are just so excited. What's something that you guys do miss about live events? Obviously, there will be a day when we all, go back and you guys will have an in-person gig again. Like, what's the thing that you're most excited for when that day comes?
I can answer that very quickly. I'll probably riding on John Lombardo's shoulders, singing "Sex on Fire" at the end of a massive corporate event.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit, Sam.
We've lost him.
In true live fashion.
Oh.
But hey, I'm glad we got to get his favorite. Oh, there you're back. Okay.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
For me, it's the snack tables in the green room.
Really, the free stuff.
Yeah, yearn for those free granola bars, man.
We'll have to send you one. We'll have to do a food delivery and make sure that you get one.
Chewy chocolate chips, Sarah. Chewy chocolate chips.
Okay, good to know. Noted. I'll make sure that happens.
We saw you this time last year, and at IMAX in Vegas, and so I think we all see a lot of our industry friends and friends via Zoom, and it's it goes, and we make new friends on Zoom. But I'm just looking forward to being in that live environment where you get to hang out with them, and and then the energy of a live band. I mean, music in terms of bands playing together, the technology, we haven't worked, even though people see bands playing on Zoom, it's all been pre-recorded. So if you see a drummer and a guitar player and a bass player and a singer, they're all in different spots and they're performing a song together, they've all recorded it and it's all been stitched together. They're not playing live. And so when you're in that room with a 5-piece band, of top, world-class session musicians like our guys and girls are, there's, it's that energy of a rock concert. So I think I'm looking forward to being in that room.
We've actually, I don't know if hopefully you can hear me okay, but we have now the next progression, which is hybrid. That's now coming into play big time. So we're live in a studio as a band together, and we're coming to you being broadcast as a broadcast band, and that's a nice happy medium because we all get to see each other and jam as a band. And the audience can, it's in a famous recording studio, it's an award ceremony, and the audience get to enjoy watching us interact as well. So that's a nice in the middle, but I can guarantee you, people are saying, oh, look, it's fine. We've got virtual and it's great. The second we can do a big live party, I think it's going to be very emotional. I think everyone's going to be like, oh, I really didn't realize how much I missed this, and just connecting and physically being in the same room with each other.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. That's definitely something I just got into this industry. So it was my first full year in events, and I was so excited to meet everyone at IMAX, and definitely looking forward to the next year. And I definitely took that for granted because, there was no next year. So I definitely think that's something that I miss too. And even, just being in the presence of live music. Sometimes I'm like, oh, if I could just go to a concert right now, I would be so happy. And I definitely think you're right. People are going to appreciate that so much. I think it will be emotional. I think just being able to be in a group of people and enjoy beautiful music is something that is really underrated and something we really took for granted. So when it comes back, I fully agree that people are just going to be so excited. And I'm just excited to see that performance when it happens. I will be there wherever you guys are. Let me know and I will come.
Hopefully it's in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm
in lots of places. It'll be
yeah. Doesn't matter.
Sarah,
I'll fly out.
Sarah, as you're talking, I'm thinking about the question you had asked, and what I miss specifically for Song Division events is because we're not just a performance group. We don't just get up there and play like a band. We like Andy said, our role is to guide these attendees through a musical exercise that lets them be creative, and it also gives them the stage. And so, and not everybody wants that stage. In fact, most people don't. But there's always someone in a group who wants to sing or wants to play with us. And one of my favorite thing that happens at Song Division gigs is when that person does that, and then afterward comes to me and says, "I've wanted to be a singer in a band my whole life. You guys just gave me my dream come true." And that's something that that we do give people in our live event settings. And that I miss. I miss that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right. It's not this passive thing. It's just being able to connect with people. And those moments too are something that you'll probably remember as memorable as it is for the person. It's memorable for you all too. And just being able to see physically the impact that you have on people's lives is huge and definitely shouldn't go unnoticed. I love that. I do want to ask, though, on a more positive note, what has been some of the ways that virtual has been better? And what are some of the ways? I know you kind of talked about people being less afraid and, not having to travel as much. Is there anything else that you guys have noticed about these virtual meetings, or, when people do get together online, are there any other benefits that you all can see?
I could definitely take a couple, but John, you go first, because then you're going to give us a little taste of what we do with a little Insta hit in a second, and then I can talk about that afterwards maybe. Okay. But I got a couple of things, but you go first, mate.
I was just going to say the deliverability of what we're doing. One of the reasons we're able to do so much right now is because it's so deliverable, and that we have people who need things quick, and we can do it for them. We don't have to rent equipment and fly people into town and find a venue. That we just turn our computers on and be there for them. And that part's cool. Do you want me to do this? Yeah. Okay, so Sarah, I'm going to give you a little bit of a demo.
Okay, great.
How we work.
There it is. This is an Insta hit.
That's right. Well, actually, that's a banner. What I'm going to do is an Insta hit, but it says Insta hits. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions.
Okay.
And those questions will magically morph into a custom song written about Sarah.
Ooh, I'm ready.
A love song nonetheless.
Easy, Tiger. It's early here. All right, so Sarah, how do I say your last name? Pronounce it for me.
Okay, Crystal.
Like
the jewel. Yeah, not too bad. Just funky spelling.
All right, very cool. And where are you from?
I'm originally from Nevada.
Which part of Nevada?
Northern Nevada, by Lake Tahoe, Carson City.
The part nobody wants to admit to. Okay, got it. Okay.
Not Vegas. Specifically not Vegas.
No, I think that's better than Vegas. Tahoe. Love it.
Yeah, the mountains.
Okay, the mountains, Tahoe. Okay, great. Yep. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do up there?
Oh, goodness. I love to go to the beach. I love to go on hikes. Definitely anything outdoors. Love to do that. Love to hang out with friends.
Okay. I'll find something interesting to talk. You don't live in Nevada anymore, do you?
No, I'm here currently right now, but I also live in Phoenix. So I'm going back actually to Saturday for the holidays. So kind of split time in between the two.
Okay, lots of beaches in Nevada and Phoenix. Okay, and then what's your favorite food?
Oh goodness, probably. Let's do something good. Let's say burritos.
Burrito. Can't
go wrong. Breakfast burritos. Dinner burritos, doesn't matter. It's good any time of day.
Okay, very cool. Is there anybody special in your life? A dog, a family member, a significant other you want to mention in the show?
Let's mention my sister. That's who I'm living with right now.
What's her name?
Allison. Or
Allison. And our producer today, what about?
Oh, Kayla. Yes, we should get Kayla in here. Definitely get Kayla in here. Yes.
Okay, Kayla.
Doing all the hard work in the background.
She really is, yes.
What did you want to be when you grow up, Sarah, when you were a kid?
Oh, gosh. What did I want to be when I grew up?
We're sharing. We're in a safe space.
Honestly, I think for a while, I think I wanted to be a gymnast.
All right.
And that did not work out well. That died at around age 10.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. I need you to do one more thing for me.
Okay.
Pick two letters between A and G. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, or G.
Ooh, let's do C for my last name, and let's do G.
C and G. Okay. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
Okay. We'll sounds good.
No, I was just going to say what's been absolutely game changer for us, Andy, correct me if I'm wrong, but all of our marketing budget, really, we don't really do any advertising. All our marketing budget has always been spent on showcases, and they can get pretty expensive when you fly a band into a big event and you hope that you're going to win one job out of it maybe, and it takes 3 years for anything to happen. They're huge investments, and now, and we always still pay our musicians no matter whether we're being paid or not, but we can get them done. I did two today. I did two showcases for Eventex is on today. We sponsored that, and we did the M&I Forum, Wired World, a couple of hundred people on each. Chuck a few guys, musicians together, and about 300 people who maybe didn't know about us this morning now know about us, and I'm doing them. I'm doing a few of those a week. It's mental. It's mental.
No, and that's something too. I had on Event Icons last week, we had JC York, and he was talking about entertainment and how, event planners who are having kind of a tough time right now with that engagement or trying to fill the time and trying to make the schedule something that is interactive and interesting. He was just heavily saying, lean on these performers, lean on the experts. You guys are entertainers. You have that ability to think really quickly and to engage the audience in ways that, someone who isn't as experienced or is just, your standard musician would be able to do. So it doesn't surprise me that you guys are doing so many gigs. I think a lot of people are like, okay, how do I, step up this meeting? How do I make it even better? And so I even want to encourage everyone to definitely lean on experts like you all to, go and just kind of check it out and see if this is something that would work well under, your kind of meeting and how you want to kind of engage your audience. So I will share a link too, just while we're talking about it, so I don't forget in all the comments. Yeah, so this is where you all can go to kind of just check it out. These are specifically for virtual meetings, if I'm correct. And so you guys can just go learn more about Song Division if this sounds like something you're really interested in. I know people will ask, so I have to send it out there beforehand. But yeah, it's no surprise to me that you guys are doing so many, and I'm excited to see what else you guys can do, and I'm sure it'll keep evolving. With that being said, what do you think is the next step for you guys? Do you see any evolution happening as things kind of progress and continue on?
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening daily. I mean, I guess our philosophy has been that we always want to, because we got in so early, and then when I think people first experienced this, they were like, even if they'd been on Zoom for a couple of weeks, when they experienced a Song Division event, our I guess production levels and the engagement was more than what they'd experienced.
Right.
And we're just making sure we're always, because everyone's developing all the time, but we're just making sure we're always sort of 3 steps ahead. I mean, it's like you guys like using StreamYard's beautiful. It's people talk about Zoom fatigue, and I think it's the same as saying, I'm tired of emails. Like it's not going away. So you've got to quit worrying about the Zoom fatigue and work out how to be engaging on the virtual platforms.
Yeah.
And so, and because we've been so lucky, because it's, because the essence of it works, and then, and we've got an amazing team, we've got an amazing operations team and marketing team, and it's growing at a crazy rate. The guys are doing so many events, so they're trying new things all the time. So it really is, they've got the vehicle to play with stuff.
Yeah,
right.
We do make mistakes, but I think there are some events. I'm not even going to say the industry. We're involved in a big global association meeting that's in the last week. Thousands of people. It was their first virtual event, and they're coming up with all these issues, which you have when it's your first virtual event.
Right.
And, our involvement in it has been, and this is them telling us, has been by far the standout part of it, because that's the world that we're living in. So I guess when you're saying, if you're not doing these virtual events all the time, and you want to make sure that your audience is engaged, because the audience are being involved in different events all the time, then bring in the experts who've worked out how to, and it's as simple things as when the guys are running these, our happy hours, for example, they really do run it like a late night show, like a board, as in the spotlighting and the muting is very smooth, and that doesn't come overnight. That comes from chemistry amongst the members as well, and there's the technical side, and that just when you don't have that right, the events just bleed energy. People lose interest, they're back on their phone. But when it's right, it's like you are literally in the middle of Jimmy Fallon's audience and talking to the roots. So it really does have when it's right, the energy is pretty amazing. So
that's so true.
Innovation is they're not like big chunks. It's just little steps every day.
Yeah, I love that. And I think I just want to point out too, I think you said something really profound about Zoom fatigue. Zoom is, like you said, it's not going anywhere and it's just a medium. I think people are mostly fatigued of just boring content and just, listening to people drone on all the time. So maybe it's not
true.
Zoom.
That's so true. No one's getting Netflix fatigue because it's all awesome content. So it's like going to a conference. It's totally the same as live. They'll complain about, I'm exhausted after 3 days of conferencing. Well, that's because you've just stared at a speaker who's done a 3-day presentation with no interaction or engagement. So that's why you think you're exhausted, but you should be energized. Speaking of which, let's get some energy from Mr. Lombardo.
Yeah,
mate.
you ready
Your
for
time
us,
to
John?
shine?
I am. I'm very excited to play your song for you, sir. I got to just say one thing to Sam. He said that people don't get Netflix fatigue because it's all great content. Dude, have you seen Tiger King?
Have you seen Cobra Kai?
No, I haven't. Okay, Sarah, here's your song. You gave me C and G. So those are the chords for your song. It goes like this. This is an Insta hit, by the way, everybody. Custom song written about you in less than 3 minutes. And this is our grand prize in our game show, just so you know. We have one person who's selected as a grand prize winner, and we do this for them. So in our live events. Here we go. Sarah, this song is for you. Everyone will know your name before I'm through. Kayla's the one doing the work that matters. Meantime, Sarah's hiking on the beaches of Nevada. Allison's her sister. Here's a little twist. Sarah's now our favorite failed gymnast. Sarah, I hope you think this song is really neat. Oh, hope you think it's tasty, like chomping on a big fat burrito.
Yay!
Genius.
Oh, beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Some people call them priceless. Other people call them worthless. You be the judge.
They're worth gold to me. I want to cut this out in a snippet and it's going on repeat. I love it. Thank you, John. That was amazing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's like being serenaded by a famous person if that person was really bad at writing songs.
Yeah.
No, it's everything. It definitely makes you feel special. It's so good. Yeah. So if anyone wants their own Insta hit, definitely go check them out. There's a plethora of talent. I feel like I've seen so many different versions of what you guys have done. No song has been the same. Everything has been so different and very personalized, and it's always just brings a smile to my face no matter what it is. So you guys are definitely awesome at what you do.
And a song like that only costs $3,000.
I'll have my people talk to your people. I'll have Kayla reach out to you guys. She'll get all that squared away.
Kayla, there's nothing like a great song. And that was nothing like a great song.
We're really selling ourselves here, aren't we? This is good.
Oh, I love it. I love
this is going well.
Yeah, we're all just hyping each other up.
Yeah,
I love it.
Speaking of which, though, very, very quickly, because Andy touched on it, and I forgot to say it about leaning on the experts. That totally goes back to you for you as well. Like endless events, event icons. You know what you're doing. You're the pros. Like it's like a live event. Don't think you can do it yourself. There's so many amazing suppliers, platforms, performers, entertainers. Like get out there and embrace it.
Thank you. Yes, I love that. Yeah, to wrap it up if you guys want to do one last quick round of what that's great advice. But if there's anything else that you have advice for people who are planning these virtual events right now, just one quick thing that you would want them to leave this little live stream with, and then we'll wrap it up.
I got something. Don't hire a professional host and MC. Hire us instead because we know what we're doing. I can't tell you.
That would be fun.
I do so many events and we're like doing this one thing and then I think, oh gosh, the host has obviously never been on Zoom before. There might be a host in the real world. Let us do it because we know how to host these events. We've done hundreds of them now.
Oh, that would be so fun. I love that. I hope I did okay hosting. You guys probably should just take it over and ask me questions. I love that.
So great, Sarah.
No, I love that idea. I think it's like a celebrity host of like the Oscars or something. Definitely have you three up there would be just awesome.
I thought you were going to say when John asked you what you wanted to be, or when Sam asked you what you wanted to be when you grow up, my money was going to be radio host, and I thought, well, you've done it. But no, gymnast is slightly different.
Here I am. Ever since I was little, I wanted to be the host of Event Icons, and I made it. So
I'll tell you what. I was going to say Will Curran who? Will who?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm coming for his influencer status.
Nice
but
Thank
yeah,
you.
do you guys have anything else to leave everyone with before we wrap it up?
I just want to say on a philosophical level, like if just stay safe and look out for each other, and keep supporting each other. We do the showcases because it's great marketing, but we do it because it's just giving some love out to the world, and people walk away going, that was the best thing I've done in weeks, and that's massively emotional for me and for us. So just stay safe, look after each other, that kind of stuff.
Fully agree. Yep. Everyone needs a little bit of love right now. So I love that you guys are doing that. Andy, any final words?
Thank you for having us, as always. And I like Sam's spin on the Zoom fatigue of being no one has Netflix fatigue. I'm gonna use that.
He's stealing your stuff, Sam. Yeah. You got to watch out for him.
That's been happening for 13 years, Sarah.
Awesome. Well, you guys always bring a smile to my face. You're making my cheeks hurt from laughing so much. I really appreciate you guys always coming on and just being the best guests ever. So we definitely have to stay in touch. But for everyone watching, thank you so much. I hope you got a little bit of enjoyment and love and laughter out of this. And to, keep up with more event icons, like I said, go to www.event-icons.com, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Kyla.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing episode of #Event Icons. To catch all of the bonus content, resources mentioned, and an invite to our Facebook and LinkedIn groups, head to www.event-icons.com. Also, let us know what you thought about this week's episode. Share your biggest takeaway, and just tag your social media posts with #Event Icons. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again soon, right here on #Event Icons.